Anthoy Joshua had the world at his feet, a 32-year-old unified heavyweight boxing champion of the world. After his second loss to Alexander Youssef, though, all of that seemed to count for nothing, and it was heartbreaking to watch.
It's really, really hard for me to say I'm proud of myself. I don't feel anything. I'm just, I'm upset, really, like deep down in my heart. Like, oh, man. Oh. Nah, what?
The question now, does AJ have the mental fortitude to come back from the most devastating loss of his career? What AJ wanted more than anything was to cement his boxing legacy by becoming the first ever undisputed 4-belt heavyweight champion of the world. In 2019, Joshua was set to defend his 3 belts against the American Jarrell Miller. In AJ's first fight in the United States, this is when the possible cracks in his psyche first started to appear.
Number one, Miller's a little I'm gonna knock him the out on June 1st. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt. He's an ex-kickboxer, drug abuser, punches like a fairy. Fury knocked him out 7 times, right? He's the softest puncher in the heavyweight division.
Your mom think I'm hit hard, though.
Where's your mom? She'd be lucky I pay her rent now.
Yeah.
I pay her rent now.
Yeah.
Perhaps it was defending his belt overseas or fighting at Madison Square Garden, or the increased pressure to sell a fight. Something was getting to the usually composed champ. But for that fight, it didn't matter. Big Baby Miller popped for every PED under the sun, and AJ's team had 1 month to find a replacement, or his big stateside debut was over. The one-time title challenger Andy Ruiz stepped up, and no one gave Ruiz a chance.
I think my style, the heart that I have, the eye of the tiger, the speed, the combinations that I throw, I give the fighters problems, you know, because of my style, the speed. So I think that's what we're gonna do on June 1st.
Ruiz was 6 inches shorter, a lot of pounds heavier, and had less than a month to get ready for a fight with the unified champion of the world. It's no wonder AJ thought he couldn't lose. But that's not what happened. After getting dropped early, Ruiz got back up and blasted AJ from pillar to post, dropping the champ several times on the way to a 9th round stoppage for all of AJ's belts. But AJ just shrugged it off.
Still focused. Minor setback. Took a loss tonight. I'll take it on the chin like a real man. No crying, no emotions. Still the same objective, to try and improve as a fighter. And I've got to look at what my next option is. Potentially getting those belts back ASAP.
When AJ met Ruiz again, he got the belts. But was it a statement? No. He went 12 rounds against Ruiz, who had put on an extra 36 pounds.
I don't really want to celebrate because I know I belong here. It was mainly just the discipline. I had some of my own issues. Andy said that he had his issues. The things that come along with being a champion.
AJ's issues were set to be tested by his next opponent, Kubrat Pulev. The Cobra had seen the cracks in New York and wasted no time getting up in AJ's face, just as Miller did, to find a chink in the champ's armor. But it didn't work. AJ dropped Pulev multiple times on the way to a dominant 9th round knockout. It was vintage AJ. Back in form, it was time to face the WBO's mandatory challenger, the former undisputed cruiserweight champion, Alexander Youssef. And this was going to change everything for Joshua.
I'm coming for you, Anthony.
Youssef isn't your average modern-day heavyweight. He's technically brilliant. His hand skills are outrageous. How many heavyweights juggle as part of their training regime? And he could literally dance around the ring. He was an undefeated riddle.
We've got, as we all say, a mysterious man in Alexander Usyk. We don't know what he's about, what he's going to bring to the table. We just got normal AJ, champion and all that. Sweet Caroline, AJ
was clearly confident, and side by side, you could see why. Youssef didn't bring mind games or machismo. And more importantly, he didn't bring size or power. But none of that mattered. Youssef thoroughly outboxed AJ for 12 rounds, landing more punches on AJ than any opponent before him. The champ was soundly beat, but he wasn't broken. Not yet.
I'm not gonna go home tonight and be crying about it, because this is war. It's a long process. Like, this isn't just like one fight and then I'm done. I've got an opportunity to go back to the drawing board, so I can't go back and sulk. That's wasting time. I'm going back to look at ways I can improve straight away.
For the rematch, AJ changed trainers. He adopted a more aggressive style. He played to his size and strength advantages. But this wasn't Ruiz he was fighting. Youssef didn't blow out between fights, partying and eating and celebrating. Youssef went home to the Ukraine, joined a defense battalion, and fought in a war against an invading Russia, all while still training for the rematch.
I've got to push myself on from where I was. I was saying earlier, right? A lot of people get knocked down when it doesn't go well, and then their challenge is to bring themselves back up to where they was. I always stay in good spirits, so the challenge for me was to actually elevate myself past where I was.
AJ was at his best, but Youssef beat him again. Joshua simply wasn't good enough.
I was mad, like, at myself, not anyone, just at myself. It's been so tough. Like, you see AJ holding it together, yeah? And I'm a hustler, so I try and put things together. Like, I try to work hard, put things together, make sure my team's good. But it comes at a cost, like, big cost. And like, sometimes it'll never break me, but it takes real strength for it not to break you. And tonight, like, there's a little crack in the armor because I took a loss.
For a champion to come back from one defeat is difficult. That's why you don't see many two-time champions. AJ has already shown he's got what it takes to do that. But to come back from another defeat, and then another, to the same opponent, when you're fighting for more than just a set of belts, that's enough to break a man. And time will tell if AJ has been broken.
I really wanted to win, and I wanted to win for Great Britain because I know how much they wanted me to fight Tyson Fury. So I wasn't just fighting for myself, I was fighting for like the whole nation. So I was just so upset.
Thanks for watching. And remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.